Hello, folks. This is February 13th, Sunday, and the futures will be opened in a few hours. And let's see where we are at in terms of the price action. So clearly, we have, this was the area where there was a congestion and price didn't take this area out and it failed and then it came back down. Now, if we go back and see this this post I had from before, this was done in December. Okay, see, the ES had taken out the high excess 45.57 and the price cycle reset had happened to 7,569 for future. Okay, so now the thing was, if it could maintain above 4489, then we could see the higher. So it did go to the early numbers of 4800, 4808, and from there it failed back. We said that, this was a congestion area, and if it closes below 4688, I didn't put, the autocorrect didn't put that / here, 4688 or 4693, then it throws back to the lower prices. So we did come up until here, this price zone. Okay, so let's see in terms of price action if it's still doing that. Yeah. So this box again got rejected. So it came back here and it tested this price action here, right? Because this was a good, once the price broke here and then it pulled back into this and we got this tested back. So this had created a demand. Price fell into that. And it is, as of now, it's holding. Okay, so we came down here in this area where I said, if it holds 42.25, expect the price to go up and retest the breakout. So this was the breakdown. So we went and tested this line. So once it fell back, it tested it there, failed and came back, went back after this fall, went back and tested it second time. And then this was the Amazon earning. This exact day was the Amazon earning. The price had come down to 44.40, 44.38, 44.40, 44.38 area. And then it pushed back up to test, and then it didn't hold, and then we are back down to retest. So this is generally where ES does like a lower retest. So if you see, it went up and it all the way came down almost to the low price, and then it tries to go up. The price goes, comes down, goes up, comes down, almost it tests the actual low and then goes up, tests the actual low, goes up. Sometimes it breaks lower as well, but generally, if you followed it closely, it likes a lower retest versus a shallow retest. Sometimes the shallowest retest was here, this one. This was when it threw many people off, that thinking price will come down and test, but it never came back. The pullbacks have been really, really shallow, and they only started getting deeper after September 20. This is 2020, yeah. So after September 20, only it started getting a little bit deeper, signaling a little bit slowness in the bull direction, the strength, not the rally itself. So, but then it did pick up in ranges, but the pullbacks were kind of timely and a little bit more than needed. See, the swings have been becoming a little bit more deeper than it originally started. So that's, in my opinion, is a good thing if it price actually tests the low properly versus not testing it and then leaving that area open. Now there are three things which we need to keep in mind. This is the first box which we have where price broke down from, and this is the area where price is currently residing. and this is the current area where it needs to hold the low. That's yellow. Yeah, I think this would be visible, I think, right? Or not visible, maybe. So this is better. So this is the area where price is currently residing, and this area needs to hold. If this area holds, let's say price, it did stop at support, right? So we said 44.89 to 43.75, 57 is our area, and it kind of stopped in between, I think 44.09. Now 44.09 is also coming from this area where it has been tested many times in the past. That's why 44.09, 43.90, 43.75, 57. I think there's one number 68 or 65 also in between, which, so basically this congestion, you see, you will find it honoring one of these numbers, or at least temporarily finding support before, you know, it gives. So once, as it is breaking one layer by layer, then you know weakness is entering. If it's holding, then we know, okay, it's ready to push back up. So it can come all the way till here, or even till here, all the way till 42.40. I'm okay, it's coming, or even 42.25, you know, that would be kind of 100% retest, almost coming on this yellow line somewhere a little bit below as well. 42.40 or 42.25 also, that would still be considered pass, a very deeper retest, but still a retest nonetheless, as long as this low or 42.25 is held on a closing basis. So we are here, and two things, okay? It'll keep breaking layer by layer to come down to retest the low, but this low or this layer of low is still held. So this would still be a bullish action, and we would still expect the price to go up, retest this. So this would be a fourth time, which means the gap around here, 46.52, that will be guaranteed to fill, because it already came till 45.90 or 86, right? So that's another 50 points or 60 points remaining. How hard it is for it to get it done? Nothing, right? So this path is open, and once it fills the gap, then, you know, it goes up, fills the gap, comes down, and then continue up towards testing this area. Okay, we are now, so let's say the price comes here and it fires back up, a very good rally we are looking into. Some this was 350-ish points, and going back here, it would be, you know, it would do all that 400, 450, 500 points rally back until the high. Okay, 4700s, if it gets into 4700s or close to all-time high, that's a rally back almost to 400 plus points, right? So we can get that, and then the question would be, would this break and go into that 5185 target which I had going on? So 4700 to 4900, 4900 to 5185. So will it do that? So that's another question. The third part is, assume, don't know if it is going to happen or not, but price action is price action. So we'll just lay it out here. Let's say this yellow box is not held. So the third area which we are looking at is to come down. What color would be good? Lighter color. This is different. Yeah. So we are looking at it to come down here, right? So this comes down around to 4,000, approximately 4,000, which I had already mentioned. Okay, well, you know, one thing I wanted to say before I continue this, or rather I wanted to say it in the beginning itself, is, you know, if let's say if you are watching this video for the first time, the new one which I'm making, I would strongly urge you to go back and check out this video, this 45 minutes video. The market updates, basically this one, and this one, some market updates happening from the start of the year to the end of the year, because that gives the starting point of the analysis. So before all this downfall had happened, it will give you a good idea from where we are coming and why this thought process has originated, that we may get a pullback, or up to where we can get a pullback, or why price action is happening. So the analysis was done before the price actually fell. So this would give you a good history in understanding what I'm talking about now. So go and look at those videos, like, share, subscribe. So we'd be in this box. So in my older video, I had mentioned that, if it comes down, if it breaks 42.25 and continues to trade below it, then we may see late 4100s, like 4190 is there. Then the other one was early 4100s, then 4056, 4060 for the mid 4000s. That would be a good support because it again falls into this area of support. And probably 4000, 4000, early 4000s, 4060 to 4000 would be the price action. And then 39, I would just extend it here because that 139.70 was coming in, so which would land you on this breakout. Okay, so we can have this price action here, early 4000s, mid to sorry, this is early to late 4100s. This is mid to early 4000. This is 4000 to late 3900. So we could get one of these three layers if at all this breaks. Okay. Now the other thing is, oops, this looks dirty. I don't like it. Anyways, or rather I should go here. Yeah. So this is what we said, right? This was one area which was not tested before. Okay, so assuming, okay, this area also breaks, then this is your very good support coming down into 37, 3700, 3750s, which is approximately 375 SPY. Now, the reason I said I wanted to talk about this 4000 or 400 SPY is earlier when SPY was tested before few times. When SPY was tested a few times, it did not go till 4000. Okay, it tested a few times. It went till 406, if I'm not wrong, somewhere here, 404, 406, but it did not actually touch 400. So it did not actually touch the 400 mark. So if at all it wants to do it, then touching that exact 400 mark can be the thing. So this would be your area. So oops, my lines does look a little bit crooked. So we are here, and if it breaks, then you can retest back the old price, and this touch of 400, exactly 400, can be in the cards, with your down area being your 375. So that is where that 3750 is coming from this area, because till earlier price, see, this was the congestion, price tested it here. So now that retest is done here, which exposes this area was not tested before, this area was. So slowly, one by one layer can start getting exposed, but doesn't mean that this will break or come down here. In case it breaks and comes down here, then you know where price can go and why it will go, right? So this is meant for that understanding, not that price actually we are going to fall and die or something. People are also actually talking about the head and shoulder, left shoulder, head, and the right shoulder. Can it happen? Yes, it can happen. It's like price curling out here and then falling back here, so which would say that price which you talked about here can revisit. Oops, what happened? Can happen, but not necessarily. It may or it may not happen, because the neckline would be a little bit above, somewhere here. Okay, which means this wick will still be in question. So the wick, your head and shoulder, in order to act out, needs to break this one and trade below to say, okay, this head and shoulder is working. But as of now, it is still good enough to retest the low until this wick is broken, or even a little bit broken, and then it can come back. So what I'm trying to say here is, this can be a tricky price action if people are very bearish and discounting the fact that this can still be a bullish action. That's all I'm trying to say. Okay, so be a little cognizant, be a little bit smart when price is in this area. That's all I'm trying to say. Oops, what? My typing, me and my typing skills. Okay, so so again, same thing. We are still here, and the price is holding this area very well, and until and unless it breaks out of this this good support area, it's not coming down to this lower area. So it has to break convincingly and stay below to come down to this 4,000. This can also happen that it will break, because currently the environment is highly news packed. So let's suppose it still wants to come down to this area. Then I believe either we can get a good rally either from this zone or from this zone back up till here, retesting this area first. Okay, so that I still think that is in the card, that fourth point in my tweet, which I had, the path I had laid out where the price had come down, and that part to upside to retest this high and also to make a new high. I'm not discounting it. Okay, so at least retesting the high, I'm not discounting it yet. So the question is, from where we can get a pushback up again. So that's where we'll see. NQ also looks like the NQ has been more weaker than necessary, or the others basically. So again, this area is still a solid support. Okay, so this was a good consolidation area right from last February to May, June, right? So a few months of consolidation, and price had come down to the upper range and still in the process of testing it. So again, this also got rejected by that 15,000, which I was mentioning. 15,129 was the numbers I was looking, because 15,000 is a mental number and 15,129 was the level. So it went just like ES, it went there and failed, and didn't go over. So again, this is where we are looking back again to retest it back, and that brings you again in your 12,000 area. Okay, 12,500, 12,500 and to 12,000 area. Okay, so provided the price enters this box inside and stays here, there will be multiple layers of support right here where it can find some support to some support to bounce back. So these would be good areas to keep seeing where the bounces are occurring. I wouldn't discount these wicks as well, these higher wicks as well, because look, these high wicks are coinciding with these lower wicks. So there is a reason, and since this is a weekly chart, your daily would have a better idea of where the price is. See how much time the price has spent in this zone, consolidation, going back, retesting it back, and then powering higher. Okay, so price generally takes a lot of effort to break down or to break out as well. So if it is taking a lot of effort to break out, then it will take some effort at least to break down. So see, that's why prices come down here, and it had reacted here and retested the breakout or the supply in this area before it decides whether this is enough for it and it's okay to go back up, or it still wants to, I'm not satisfied, I want to come down a little bit more, I may find support here, or here, or this is your 12,500 area approximately, and or probably here, right? This is your 12,500 exactly, right? See these wicks, I want to come down all the way here, and that would be absolutely fine. So the only thing what we need to do is see where is price in terms of supply and demand and the strength of it, with what force it is coming down or with what force it is going back up. So just concentrate on those areas, and generally you should be okay or on the right side of the market. Okay. QQQ also same thing. because it's NDX. So 361, it broke, it didn't hold. It did fill that gap up, which was the gap from here, but the gap here is still pending. That's what we talk about, 4652. So we are still looking at early 300s for the price to come down to. So 12,500 would be, I don't know, approximately late 200s, maybe just under 300, something like that for EQQQ, RTY. RTY also, we know that it went back. So see, exactly, that's the reason I mentioned that it's very important to go back and look the previous videos, because the price action is coming from here. So you know layer by layer how it is breaking through. So last video, last to last video, we know prices coming down and it held here. After that, it broke and came down here. And then we had, it came and got supported here. I think we had talked about this as well. And see what the price did. It bounced back off here to the actual breaking point. Just like ES, just like NQ, it went there to test whether do I have enough strength to continue back up, or I still need a trampoline jump, which means coming down here, basing somewhere in this area and then go back up. That would be the bullish theory. The not so less bullish or the more bearish theory would be to come down more. Now, RTY, as I had mentioned, has a big straight line, right? So only this area was something, you know, on weekly you could see a little bit better, but the monthly has nothing. See, it's all straight lines. So if at all it wants to pull back, there is a good chance it can come down and hit in this on this trend line, with some minor support coming in this area, which it already got. So this high was 1863, and this came down to 1892, a few 30-40 points, which means this area was tested and this held. Which means if price tries to break down below this, then all this area is getting exposed because there's literally no support. So that's the only thing vulnerable for RTY. So it better found a support here. Otherwise, this whole area, this between blue and this red line, is exposed. Just like we had Tesla, right? Exactly. Just like Facebook, we had, if you go and see the previous videos, why these bigger, why did they get a bigger pullback? Because of these straight lines, because of these very big straight lines where price just moves without testing the demand or the supply, or price negotiations which happen in between. So then, after some time it comes back to retest those breakouts. The faster it does, it's better, but this is few months of strong breakouts, which means that the pullbacks could be equally vicious. So that's what happened in the growth stocks. The pullbacks have been really, really vicious. Why? Because of these straight lines. You have continuous straight lines, and then when it comes down, there is no support for it to come back up, to come back down. I mean, so 3 months of up, 3 months of exactly down. Who else? So see, and now exactly where it is sitting. Where it is sitting. Check it out. Exactly at the breakout of this big consolidation happened from April 18th to April 20, exactly 2 years of big consolidation. So will it be easy to break this price? No, it will not be easy to break this price and come down. It may get one bounce at least to test, some above, or at least something above, go back up to test some numbers, and then it can decide to come back and enter this area where there could be tons of support already built in. Okay, weekly would be take me too long a time to go back there, but with the monthly itself, you see there could be tons of support coming in here, where we said this 197 area is a big support, not only in terms of price, but also cycle. And so it found the higher price around 216, which is the upper offset. Remember, the cycle works in percentage of offset, where let's say this was your 100% target, then not hitting it exactly within 25 to 50% of that number is actually okay. We can consider it as done. So that's why, it makes sense to see what happened in the past. So your past will manifest the future. What a statement, yeah, right, guys? Okay, so where I was, we just got a little bit off track. I didn't want to make this video too long. So YM also, it's from the look of it, it's still consolidating compared to the other indices. This has fared a little bit so much better than ES or RTY or NQ. You should see on the daily actually how much damage it did. So this is still, looking okay, because see, from last May 21, it was still consolidating and did nothing until last of October. So price had been roaming in this area, just like RTY was roaming for 1 year. This is almost a half a year of roaming from, so that's why price is still here. It hasn't gone anything. So this can actually indicate your first sign of strength if the other indices like ES and NQ wants to go back up, because your YM is still in, I don't know, consolidation phase maybe. So if it breaks out, then it could be a consolidation. Otherwise, like RTY, this may come down. So then your ES and NQ would be leading in falling back, forcing this one also to break this and come down. Okay, so look at this, with respect to other indices, what it wants to do, because it's sitting right here, and the breakdown would cause it to come down. This is your clean area where it should, if it wants to come down, this would be a very clean area. And again, there are tons of support built in here, 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 here. It could find support anywhere, but this was your original breakout last April. So this would mean a better demand. That's all. So again, see why that looked a better demand, because of these straight lines. So these straight lines never sit well in the long run, because they always get tested out sooner or later. So you have a few months of continuous run, and then it pauses, and then it wants to come back and test the lower areas. So always look for your stocks. If it has run a lot, then go back to their higher time frame charts and see if you see a straight line. If you see a straight line, then that would be your first indication to protect your profits, to have a plan to protect your capital as well. It doesn't hurt to go and look and at least have a plan, so that, why are we in the stock market? To make money. So if you're going to lose all that back, what's the point, right? When it's come down, you would always re-enter with your profits and then slowly build back again. There is nothing called as a high price or a low price, right? So this can go a long way in doing a consistent build-up of your portfolio versus waiting here and doing nothing and falling back and say, okay, I'm a bag holder for this stock. So that shouldn't happen. You should always have a plan that I will book my profit if it falls down below this one, or if my 50% profit is breached, or my capital is capital is coming in danger. So always, because we are in this game as long we have our capital intact. Once it's gone, or once we blow our account off, the deal is off, right? So now the VIX. Okay, VIX. So I think on Friday I had done this. I was just looking at VIX, what it wants to do. So I had posted two days ago, or I think 2 days ago only,